Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasatyade Shadarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Thank you all for coming to the temple and to the Bhagavad Gita class. Every evening at 6 o'clock we have a Gita class here and we read a verse from the Bhagavad Gita. So before I start, I'll say the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Before I begin speaking on the Bhagavad Gita, I'd like to seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas present here and everywhere to please bless me so that I can speak something on this wonderful book, the Bhagavad Gita, for the benefit of everyone, including myself, and for the pleasure of Sri Sri Radha Gokulananda. So today we're reading chapter 3, text 38, and up there we have the verse in Sanskrit. So we'll first recite this verse in Sanskrit. I'll say part of it and then you can all repeat. Domena vriyate vanir Yata darsho malena cha Yatol bena vrito garbhas Tata tene damavritam Dumena vriyate vanir Yata darsho malena cha Yatol bena vrito garbhas Tata tene damavritam. Would someone like to say the verse? Domena vriyate vanir Yata darsho malena cha Yato bernavrito garbhas Tatate nedamavritam. Anyone else like to try? Yeah, please go ahead. Dhumena vriyate vahane Yata darsho malena cha Yato venavrito garbhas Tatate nedamavritam. Thank you. Okay, we'll do the word for word now. Dhumena, by smoke. Avriyate, is covered. Vahni, fire. Yata, just as. Adharsha, mirror. Malena, by dust. Cha, also. Yata, just as. Ulbena, by the womb. Avrita, is covered. Garbha, embryo. Tata, so. Tena, by that lust. Idam, this. Avritam, is covered. Translation. As fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this lust. You can all please repeat. As fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this lust. Okay, so this is a very nice verse here in the Bhagavad Gita. It's explaining the different degrees of lust by which every living entity is covered. So, a few verses ago, in text 36, Arjuna, he asks the question. He says, O Krishna, O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force? So this is a very relevant question that Arjuna is asking here. He says, why is it that sometimes we end up doing things that are against our own will? We don't want to do them. We know that this is not the right thing for me to do. But somehow, something like it forces us almost to do that thing. And then after we regret, like, why did I do that? It was like such a bad thing to do. So we can all, we can all experience this in our life, that there's many things that we just end up doing them because it's almost like we're forced by something. So Arjuna is asking, what is this? What is this force that is causing us to act in ways against our own will, against our own good? And so Lord Krishna, he replies that actually, what this thing is it's lust, it's kama. He says, kama esha krodha esha rajaguna samudbhavaha. It is this kama, lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material modes of passion, and later it's transformed into wrath. And Krishna says that actually it is this kama that is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. We all think that we have so many different enemies, like, oh, this person is my enemy, my boss is my enemy, or my neighbor is my enemy. People have so many different other people that they think are their enemy. But Krishna is explaining that actually the greatest enemy of every living entity is within their own heart. And that is this lust. This lust that is causing us to act against our own good, act against our own will even. And what is this lust? So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's a very nice verse that describes what kama is. It says, Atmendriya priti vancha tare balikam. The Atmendriya priti vancha, the desire to satisfy one's own senses, tare balikam, that is called lust, that is called kama. So it's this desire, this propensity to enjoy our own senses, that we can see this in the world. Practically almost everyone, this is their goal in life, like what they're working towards is gratifying their senses in so many different ways. By eating nice food, by seeing nice things, by hearing nice music, by trying to satisfy all of these bodily senses, people are working so hard. But Krishna is explaining here that this very desire that everyone is working hard for, everyone is trying for, this is our greatest enemy. And this is causing us the most suffering in our life. So I'll read the purport here. Prabhupada, he explains this verse. He says, there are 3 degrees of covering of the living entity by which his pure consciousness is obscured. This covering is but lust under different manifestations, like smoke in the fire, dust on the mirror, and the womb about the embryo. When lust is compared to smoke, it is understood that the fire of the living spark can be a little perceived. In other words, when the living entity exhibits his Krishna consciousness slightly, he may be likened to the fire covered by smoke. Although fire is necessary where there is smoke, there is no overt manifestation of fire in the early stage. This stage is like the beginning of Krishna consciousness. The dust on the mirror refers to a cleansing process of the mirror of the mind by so many spiritual methods. The best process is to chant the holy names of the Lord. The embryo covered by the womb is an analogy illustrating a helpless position, for the child in the womb is so helpless that he cannot even move. This stage of living condition can be compared to that of the trees. The trees are also living entities, but they have been put in such a condition of life by such a great exhibition of lust that they are almost void of all consciousness. The covered mirror is compared to the birds and beasts, and the smoke-covered fire is compared to the human being. In the form of a human being, the living entity may revive a little Krishna consciousness, and if he makes further development, the fire of spiritual life can be kindled in the human form of life. By careful handling of the smoke and the fire, fire can be made to blaze. Therefore, the human form of life is a chance for the living entity to escape the entanglement of material existence. In the human form of life, one can conquer the enemy, lust, by cultivation of Krishna consciousness under able guidance. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes, so here in this verse they're explaining that there's different types of covering of this lust. First we have, it says that some people are very thickly covered by lust, just like the embryo is covered by the womb. So this is a very thick covering. It's like you can't see through it. And it's very, very thick. Some people are completely covered. Then there is they give the example of a mirror covered by dust. So this is not so thick. Dust is quite fine, but still it's covering the mirror, so you can't see yourself in the mirror. And then they give the example of smoke covering fire. So this is even less. If you have fire but there's a lot of smoke, it's covering the fire, but it's very, very thin. So yeah, in this month of December, it's a special month where we all try to go out as much as possible and share the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita, of Krishna consciousness with as many people as possible. So the devotees in this month, they go out in the streets to different towns and they distribute these books. So we've been going out quite a few days, and we can experience this a lot, the different degrees of this lust when we're out on the street. You can see how people are differently covered by these, by karma. Some people, when you try to give them a book, they're immediately interested. They come and they're like, oh, I was just looking for this. This is just what I needed in my life. And they're so grateful, they're so thankful. They're like, I'm already practicing yoga, I already practice meditation, and I was just looking for the Bhagavad Gita. I was looking for these books. And so, this means that their covering is not so thick. Prabhupada explains that smoke covering fire is when a person is already beginning their spiritual practice. Then we can see there's other people also who are not so interested, but with a little convincing, when we explain, when we show them, then they can take it. And then there's also other people who it's like, no matter what you say, no matter how hard you try, they're just not interested in anything spiritual. Sometimes they'll shout at you, they'll even say like rude words, or they won't even look at you, they'll just go away. So these people, we can understand that their covering of karma is very thick, and they're very deeply entangled in it. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj, he says, Matirna Krishne Paritasvatova Mito Bipadye Tagriha Vratanam Adanta Gobir Vishatanta Mishram Puna Punascharvita Charvananam. He says, because of their uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to materialistic life make progress towards hellish conditions, and they repeatedly chew that which has already been chewed. So Prahlad Maharaj, he compares sense gratification to chewing that which has already been chewed. Because he says that through so many lives, we've been engaging in sense gratification. We've been trying to gratify our senses. They give the example that if you take a sugarcane stick that someone already made juice out of, then it's just like the dry part of the stick is left. If someone again takes that dry stick and they try eating it to get some juice, it's like, what juice is left? It's chewing the chewed. So in the same way, Prahlad Maharaj is saying that so many lives we've been doing sense gratification. And what is the taste in it actually? This just like eating something that you've already chewed and like spit out, and it's useless. There's no more taste in it. But he says that some people, because of their uncontrolled senses, they become addicted to this materialistic life. And he says that their inclination towards Krishna are never aroused, either by the instructions of others, by their own efforts, or by a combination of both. So this is exactly the case of people who are too covered by lust, too entangled in karma, that no matter how hard we try, it's very, very difficult to get these people to turn to spiritual life, to spiritual practices. But then, of course, there's the power of bhakti. It's so great. Like here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says that in the human form of life, one can conquer the enemy lust by cultivation of Krishna consciousness under able guidance. So if we get the mercy of the devotees and start performing bhakti yoga, then gradually this layer can become less and less. And then, then we can begin to experience real bhakti, real Krishna consciousness, real happiness in our life. There's also a question that devotees sometimes ask or just think about themselves. It's like, because it says that the goal of chanting is to get Krishna Prem, or the goal of reading the scripture, of coming to the temple, that ultimately all of these things will awaken Krishna Prem in our heart. So a devotee may ask that, I'm doing all of these things, that I've been chanting for so long, I've been reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, why is it that I don't feel any change in my heart? It's explained that if you chant the holy name, that tears flow in your eyes, your body's trembling, you're dancing in ecstasy. This is the power of the name. So we can ask that, I'm chanting these same names, why is it that this is not happening to me? Is it not true that chanting the holy name doesn't bring Krishna Prem? Why am I not experiencing this? So it said that, yes, of course it's true that chanting the holy name of the Lord does give us Krishna Prem. But the thing is that our heart is so covered by this desire, by kama, that it can't actually experience the power of the holy name until we remove this covering. It's like we can say that if you pour water on something, it's going to get wet. But if I take that object and I wrap it in many, many layers, if I seal it and then pour the water on it, is it going to get wet? No. But water does have that power, that whatever you pour it on, it's going to become wet. So in the same way, the practice of bhakti will lead to Krishna Prem. But we have to remove these coverings of lust, of kam, from our heart. And the thing with bhakti, it says that the process and the goal are the same. So the goal is Krishna Prem, is bhakti. And the process of bhakti yoga itself is capable of removing these layers, of cleansing our heart. There's a beautiful verse that says, Cheto darpana marjanam, bhava mahada vagni nirdvapanam. That the holy names of the Lord, as we chant them, that they cleanse the dust accumulated over so many lives on the mirror of our heart. It says that there's like a mirror in our heart, and all of the sinful activities that we've done over many, many lifetimes is covering that mirror like dust. But by chanting the names of Krishna, that this dust is moved. It's cleansed gradually. And so then finally when we have chanted enough, with enough purity, with enough intensity, then when we perfected that, our heart will actually become cleansed of all this dust. And then we'll be able to see Krishna in our heart. We'll be able to experience the result of bhakti, Krishna Prem. But at the same time, we also have to be careful that we are not committing more sinful activities. Otherwise, we can be chanting, and that's removing the dust, it's removing these layers. But at the same time, if we're performing sinful activities, it's thickening the layers. So if we're chanting and at the same time increasing the layer of lust, it can take many, many lifetimes for us to actually achieve any spiritual success. So we have to be very cautious and careful of this great enemy called lust. Srila Prabhupada, he said once that one problem that the devotees have is that they're not afraid enough of Maya. He said that we should always be afraid of Maya, that Maya is very strong, she's very great, and that at any moment she can pull us down. Sometimes we think, I've been chanting now for so long, I've been practicing so much. Maya can't touch me, Maya can't make me fall. But then we see that actually, even very great devotees, even demigods, they become affected by this karma. They become affected by Maya. There's a story in the Srimad Bhagavatam of a great king. His name was Bharat Maharaj. And he had left everything. He had left his kingdom, his palace, his family. And he went to the forest to perform bhakti yoga. And it said that he had actually come to the stage of bhava, which is, yes, the perfectional stage, just before prema. But then, while he was in the forest, he saw a deer, a baby deer who had lost its mother. And he kept that deer out of compassion for that deer. But it says as he was taking the care of the deer, he became more and more attached to that deer, and gradually he became negligent of his spiritual practices. And because of this attachment, that Bharat Maharaj, he almost completely stopped his spiritual practices, and then in his next life he had to be born as a deer. So this is the power of Maya Devi, that we can be very strong, we can be very determined, but we should never think that I'm immune to Maya, that I become a great devotee now. There's no way that Maya can touch me. They tell a story also that Prabhupada was praying once praying before the deities very intensely, and a disciple of his asked Prabhupada, "What are you praying? What do you pray before the deities?" So he said, "I was praying that I may never come under the control of Maya." And so even Prabhupada, who was a pure devotee, he was constantly praying that may I not fall under the influence of Maya, because Maya is so strong. And so we need to have this humility, this honesty, that actually I'm just a small soul in this huge material world. And I'm weak, I'm struggling, I fall under temptations. I'm struggling in so many ways with so many different things. I can't even control my own senses. And in this mood of humility, we can genuinely call out to Krishna, that Krishna, please save me. I'm drowning in this ocean of material miseries, and I'm not able to come out of it by my own endeavors. I'm being dragged down and down. Especially nowadays when we go outside, especially in the cities, we can see there's so much temptation, so many things that are pulling our mind and senses here and there. Everything practically is trying to take us away from God, and is trying to agitate our senses, trying to push us to gratify our senses. And so we have to be always conscious of this, that this is my greatest enemy. And when we see these things, we identify that here is my enemy trying to pull me down. Let me not succumb to its temptation. And when we have this mood of deep humility, this can actually protect us. There's we can see this wonderful example in the life of Srila Haridas Thakur. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita we were reading, Haridas, his mood is like such humility. When you read how he speaks, how he describes himself, it almost like hurts your heart to hear how humble he is. He says that I am unqualified even to sit with the devotees, to enter the temple, that I am low-born. Even if a person touches me, if they see me, they'll become sinful because this is how sinful I am. But Haridas Thakur, he had no sin. He was completely pure. He would chant the holy names of Krishna constantly. And he was a great, great devotee. But he always had this mood of humility to the greatest degree. And then even when Maya Devi herself came to tempt Haridas in the form of a prostitute, Haridas was completely immune to that. He was completely protected because he was completely humble and firmly situated in devotional service, that nothing could shake him. So yeah, we should all try to always remember this. Actually, I'm just a small soul, and Maya Devi is so powerful. I should always be very careful. I should always seek the shelter of Krishna and his devotees, because without them I have no hope to withstand the forces of Maya. So yeah, that verse from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says, Atmendriya priti vancha tare bhalikam Krishnendriya priti ichcha dhare premanam. It says the desire to satisfy one's own senses is called kama or lust, but the desire to serve Krishna's senses is called prema. So the solution to conquering this enemy of lust is that we have to transfer our desires from desiring to gratify our own senses to desiring to gratify the senses of the Lord. And then this very enemy, kama or lust, will be transformed into prema, which is actually the perfection of life. So it says that, as living entities, we all have desires. That's natural. We're all going to have so many desires, so many plans, so many ambitions in life. So spiritual life doesn't mean to give these things up. Spiritual life just means, instead of doing all these things for the wrong purpose, which is the gratification of our senses, which are anyways not us. Because the desire to gratify our senses comes from the understanding, the false understanding, that I am this body, and that these senses are me. But actually we're not this body, and we're not these senses. And so gratifying these senses is useless, because this is just matter. It's not even us. And so the only way that we can really be successful, really get happiness, is when we try to satisfy the senses of Krishna. And then this will actually bring us Krishna Prem and destroy all of our lust, all of our kam. And ultimately Prabhupada stresses this point that we have to seek able guidance in our cultivation of Krishna consciousness. So we should never think that, I can attain perfection in spiritual life by my own endeavors. It says that we only get Krishna Prem from a devotee of Krishna. So we have to seek the shelter of a devotee and their guidance in our life, and they can constantly help us if we're feeling weak, when we feel like we're succumbing to temptation, that they can pick us up, they can help us, they can guide us out of it. If we have sincere devotee friends, we can go to them and they can help us in times when we're in great difficulty. And in a class just a few days ago, Sachinandan Swami, he explained, he was talking about, like, by hook or by crook, people do so many things in this world. Like, by hook or by crook, we try to get money, we try to get a perfect relationship, we try to do so many things for our sense gratification. People will spend so much time, spend so much effort, they'll go through difficult situations to obtain these things. Sometimes people will even sacrifice their lives to get these things, to get material position, to get material wealth, to get fame, all of these things. So Maharaj was explaining that with that same eagerness, with that same determination, that by hook or by crook, let me get Krishna Prem. Let me get the ultimate result of Krishna consciousness, no matter what it takes. No matter how hard it actually is, let me put all my endeavor in it. Because this is the greatest thing that we could ever try for. Money is, first of all, not going to make us happy. And second of all, even if it gives us a little bit of pleasure, it's so temporary. It's all going to be finished at the end of this life, if not sooner. And so is everything material, like fame, like relationships, like anything material in this world. All of these things are ultimately going to end in frustration because they're all impermanent, they're all temporary, and they all come with so many faults. And so the highest goal that we can attain is Krishna consciousness, is Krishna Prem. The perfection of our spiritual life that will actually make us happy in this life, and it will take us back to the spiritual world, back to Krishna. So we should have this great eagerness that let me do whatever it takes, by hook or by crook, let me become Krishna conscious. And with this eagerness and humility also, we'll be able to conquer this greatest enemy called lust. So I'll stop here. We have about 10 minutes. If any of you have any questions or comments or corrections or anything you'd like to share, please do. Mm-hmm.
When you were saying about how with the same intensity that we pursue material enjoyment, we have to pursue Krishna consciousness, I was thinking of the story of Bilvamangal Thakur.
Okay, yeah. So there's a story of one man. His name was Bilvamangal, and he became very attracted to this one prostitute. And so he had arranged that with this prostitute that, I'll meet you in your house at this time on this day. And so that day came. But then what happened was a big storm broke out. And it was such a fierce storm that the land became like flooded. And there was thunder, there was lightning. Everyone, they went inside their house, they closed the doors. But Bilvamangal Thakur, he's like, no, I have to go see this prostitute. So even in the storm, he went. He was going, and it was quite some distance to reach her house, but he didn't care about the storm. He just ran out of his house. It was raining. He got completely wet. And then he had to cross one river also to get to her house. But because there was such a big storm, there was no boatman. All the boatmen had gone home. So Bilvamangal Thakur, it was also dark. It was at night. And he couldn't see anything, and there was no one to take him across the river. So he's like, whatever. He had such a desire that I must go. So he jumped in the river and he found something floating. He just held on to it, and somehow he made his way across the river. And then when he got across the river, it was pouring, it was raining intensely. And then to get to her house, she lived upstairs. But then the door down...
The thing that was floating was a dead body.
Yeah, I'm going to explain that later. Then, no one was there. He tried knocking on the door, but no one would come out. Everyone was hiding in the house. It was such a big storm. And it was also dark. He couldn't see anything. And then he saw there's something hanging there. So he was like, okay, I can get up. So he climbed it. And through the window, he finally arrived in the prostitute's house. And she looked at him. She's like, how are you here? How did you get here? Nobody can go out now. It's a far distance. It's a huge storm. How did you cross the river? How did you even come through the window? And then she just realized how intensely this person desired to see me. He risked his life just to come here. And it said that the thing that he caught hold of to cross the river was a dead body floating in the river. And through floating on that dead body, he crossed the river. And then to get to her house, the thing that he caught hold of, he thought it was a rope, but it was actually a snake. And using that snake, he climbed up and he went into the window. And there were thorns on the way. He got scratched. His clothes were completely wet, and it was ripped. It was completely it was in a completely terrible state. And so, this prostitute, when she looked at him, she just looked at him and she said that if you had this much love for Krishna, you would be a pure devotee. And when Bilvamangal he heard that from the prostitute, it said that his heart changed. Then he understood that actually, what am I going after? What is the pleasure in this material enjoyment? That I tried so hard, I risked my life just for something so temporary, something so insubstantial. And so I said that when Bilvamangal he heard that from the prostitute, that he said that actually today you have become my guru, because you have taught me the greatest, you've given me the greatest instruction, the greatest realization, that actually all of this is useless, that let me apply my endeavor, my eagerness in serving the Lord, and then just imagine how much happiness I will get. So then, this person, Bilvamangal, he went to Vrindavan, and there he worshipped Lord Krishna with the devotees. And he became a great devotee, he became Bilvamangal Thakur. And he wrote many beautiful books, many beautiful songs, glorifying Lord Krishna. And he actually saw Krishna also face to face. It said that Krishna, he took care of him personally in Vrindavan, that he had all of his needs. So that's a nice story. Thank you for reminding us. It shows nicely how that lust was transformed into love, how Kam was transformed into Prem. Okay, anything else? We have 5 minutes. Mm.
Then I was thinking that, they can't really practice how to get free from the plant covering, but the only way they can really get elevated is kind of apart from going through the evolutionary process, is if the devotee like chants to them. And that's like what Lord Chaitanya was asking Haridas Thakur, like how can we deliver even the plants and the trees? And then Haridas Thakur said by chanting the holy names.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that everybody who has the gift of Krishna consciousness, they also have a duty, they're in the ethic, right? The person who gave it to them, and the only way they can repay it by giving it to others.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should help others, because people are really in need of giving help, otherwise they can't do anything themselves.
Yeah, that's why we go like on Harinam. That was the process that Lord Chaitanya established when he came. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself, but he came in the form of a devotee, in the mood of a devotee, to teach us and to spread this love of Krishna Prem, all over the world. And he started the Sankirtan movement, the chanting, congregational chanting of the holy names. And he took it out, not just in the house, but he would go out openly in the streets and sing these names so that everyone could be benefited. The humans, the plants, the animals. Anyone who hears the holy name, it's called the Gyata Sukriti. They're unknowingly getting so much spiritual benefit. It's building their spiritual bank balance. And in this way even plants and trees can be saved. So we go on Harinam. Especially in London, they do a lot Harinam in the city. It said actually somewhere, I heard that this Harinam, I think it was like, they said that just by this Harinam, that crime and all of these things have decreased so much. Isn't it? You heard that? Someone was telling me. Because, the whole chanting of the holy names are so powerful. Even if one doesn't directly take to Krishna consciousness immediately, the heart is getting purified as soon as they hear the holy names of the Lord. And so we should all try our best to spread these names as much as possible. Give everyone the chance to hear them. And by hearing this lust, this calm, will be purified, will be cleansed from the heart.
help with that. If you just give us a hall and sound system and all this, and we'll do kirtan every night and encourage people to come, and we'll chanting the holy names is going to totally change the atmosphere of the city, and you're going to see like a big reduction in crime. But he didn't provide a home. He didn't like put up on his offer. But Prabhupada was so convinced that the whole atmosphere is to be changed. The whole society
Yeah.
to be changed just by chanting Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Yeah. They say actually all problems in this world, they root from a lack of spirituality in people. Because people are godless, because they're atheistic, and they have no spiritual values, that they just degrade everything, and then so many things. People become criminals, they start wars, they fighting, there's all of these things. Ultimately they stem from this, a lack of God consciousness. So yeah. Okay, we've got like a minute till Arati, so we can just put all of this away. Thank you all for kindly listening. And yeah, please keep coming. Every evening, 6 o'clock, we have this Bhagavad Gita class. It's so nice. The Bhagavad Gita has so much wonderful knowledge and very practical. We can apply it in our life and we'll see that it makes so much difference. It brings us so much more clarity to what is our purpose and what's actually going to bring us true happiness. So yeah.